Hello friends, and welcome to today's video where we're going to talk about 17th Heaven. So I got out my copy of FML, and for once my struggles to be a person are a win because I'd yet to put this album where it belongs, on the bottom shelf where all my 17 albums go. And because I filmed very early in the morning, I didn't feel like bending over to get it, and then I remembered I never put it away. So that was a win. But also, yes, for the record, I am in a blanket. I'm cold. I don't want to be cold, hence blanket. None of you care. We're here to talk about 17. So, let's go over how this video is going to work. I am going to run through the track list, give you my thoughts on each song, and then I'm going to give this album a score out of 10 at the end. However, I do have a few disclaimers before we continue. Disclaimer number 1, this album is new, it's been out for a handful of hours, and my opinions on it very much may change over time. Second disclaimer is, of course, my standard one. Everything I say in this video is just my opinion. You do not have to agree with my opinion because, oh god, I gotta extract. As the mug always says, music is subjective, and that is great. Okay, now that we have all of that out of the way, let's actually get started. And first up, we have SOS, and it's pretty good. Hear me out. I want you to walk with me a little bit. This song is giving the energies of Rock With You, but a more subdued version. That is the vibe I was getting. I could be insane. But let's discuss the song, starting with the background music, produced by Marshmello. It's good. It's not amazing, but it's good. Although it does, to be fair, have a certain generic quality a lot of Marshmello songs do. The verses are also solid. The second half for both of them is way better than the first, because if you ask me, the first half of both of these verses isn't giving a ton. The chorus also isn't doing very much for me. Like, the only part of the chorus that really made me feel something was when Stockman did the final chorus. That part got me a little bit. The rest of it is just kind of meh. As for the bridge, it's something. It's something for sure. Like, it bothered me. I can't explain why, but I kind of hate it. Same with the lyrics. They made me, like, irrationally angry. I think it's just because the song is all in English, and as a fluent English speaker, the weirdness of the lyrics just stood out to me more. But either way, like, these lyrics bothered me, and I can't explain that either. Anyway, on to the title track, God of Music, and I'm kind of obsessed. Like, it's fun, it's bright, it's poppy. The one change that I wish was made to the song is that I wish it came out in summer. Like, this has summer energies, but even as a fall song, it's still very good. But let's get into it, starting with the verses this time. The first one is really good. Like, the raps in it are actually really fun, and the vocal part at the start is great too. The second verse, meanwhile, is my verse, okay? Because my top 2 in 17 are Chan and Jihoon, and that's who's in this verse, and Jihoon's note at the end, a little too powerful. The pre-chorus, meanwhile, hits perfectly, and I love the flow of this song in general. Like, you can really feel it in the pre-chorus, the way the verses flow into the pre-chorus and the pre-chorus flows into the chorus. Like, it's just masterful. And speaking of the chorus, I love this chorus, okay? Like, I was jamming my heart out to this chorus at 6:37 in the morning, and that is a power move if nothing else. The one and only part of the song that I didn't adore is the second half of the chorus. It just feels a little too repetitive for me. I don't like an overly repetitive chorus, so I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it's still pretty good, and the background music is doing a lot of heavy lifting. The background music there, very good. Big picture though, this isn't the best 17 title, not even of the 2020s if you ask me. However, in a Hybe-owning Pledis era, let's call it, in a post-Hybe era, I have not been the biggest fan of a lot of their titles. I think around half of them have been a miss for me for one reason or another. So this one's up there for sure. Okay, next up is Diamond Days, and I have a question. I have a question for the culture. As someone who's been a 17 stan since they debuted, when I heard the Slip Into the Diamond Life line, I was ready to cry. But does the average fan get it? Because 17's gained a lot of fans since they debuted. I'm just curious, like, does the average fan get it? I'm not judging. If your answer is no, I don't get it. I'm just curious. Lore aside, the song is quite good. Like, the background music is really cool, and I was really into it. As for the verses, the first one is fun, but in a messy way. Like, it's complex, but I was enjoying myself. The second verse is a lot more just like your standard good verse. It's not as hectic, let's say, as is the first one, but it's also better than the first one, so I'm not really going to judge it. The pre-chorus, meanwhile, is solid. It flows well into the chorus, and the Slip Into the Diamond Life line is an icon. The chorus, though, hear me out, okay? I've said 5 billion times on this channel now, I hate an overly repetitive chorus. And this one, it's very, very repetitive. And the background music, to be fair, is doing a lot of heavy lifting. It's really good background music. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm just not the biggest fan of this chorus. That said, I can get past my lack of love for this chorus because I really like the rest of the song, and the second half of the chorus is mostly background music, and the background music is quite good, so I can get through it. We have reached unit songs, okay? And we're starting with Performance Line, which is back to back. And in what should be a surprise to nobody, the song is excellent, okay? Like, Performance Line songs have very rarely been a miss for me. There's one or two in their catalog, but for the most part, I've liked a Performance Line song probably the most out of all the unit songs. This is no exception. Like, this chorus is, if you ask me, the best on the album, okay? Like, I was having a concerning amount of fun to this chorus, and I would like to remind everyone, I take my notes prior to 7 a.m., okay? So, for me to be having that much fun that early in the day is a power move. The rest of the song is also very good. The verses are great. The background music, while not my favorite, it's still, like, not bad. It's solid background music, and I was really into the pre-chorus. Next up is the rap line song Monster, and similar to Performance Line in a way. Like, while Performance Line songs are always a win for me, rap line songs have a tendency to be a miss for me, just because it's not that they can't rap. Most of them are doing a very good job, but it's just more the style they tend to adopt isn't really for me. This one, again, no exception. The chorus pisses me off. The raps are fine. They're decent raps, but they're nothing special. And the background music is your standard mid-rap song background music. So just in general, like I said, the song isn't for me. We have reached the final unit song, which is Yawn, the vocal line song. And like most vocal line songs, this one's a ballad, and it's really nice. Personally, I've always loved the vocal line ballads, like since the very first one, and I think it's actually a part of why I like ballads so much now. Like, as an adult, let's say, I've learned to really love a good ballad. I think 17 is part of it, because if you ask me, their ballads always hit, and this one is great. The vocals are stunning. Suckman in that first pre-chorus gave me goosebumps. Plus, the chorus is gorgeous. However, I will say, if you're not a ballad girl, if you're not into ballads, you're not gonna like this song, and that's fine. You don't have to. I, as a ballad girl, did really like this song. Last but not least, we have Headliner, and this is, if you ask me, giving the perfect closer energy. It also made me weirdly emotional. I can't explain why it did, but a concerning number of 17's closing songs have also done that to me. Like, this song is nothing special, okay? And as far as 17 songs go, like songs on this album, I didn't check, this might be the shortest, but it's pretty short for sure. However, it made me feel a very wide range of emotions. As for the song itself, though, it's fine. The verse, there's only one verse, but the verse is good, the chorus is cute, and the pre-chorus is excellent. The pre-chorus is definitely the best part of the song. But this and most 17 albums I've noticed have really good closer energy. Like, it gets extra credit for that for this song because this was just the perfect song to end the album on. But that is all I have to tell about this album. So with that, it is score time. And overall, I'm going to give it an 8.8 out of 10. I am. But to preface that score, I want to say, with full honesty, I kind of hate a lot of their recent albums. Not hate. Hate is a strong word. But a lot of their recent albums, like their 2020s albums, have been a disappointment for me just a little bit. It just feels like the quality dropped following Hive's acquisition of Pledis. I'm not blaming Hive. It's just the major event that happened at the same time. Like, it could just be a coincidence. But either way, this feels like more of a classic 17 kind of vibe. Like, more of a 2018-17 era vibe. And I was really grateful for that. Now, I could be hallucinating the vibes, though. Like, that's always a possibility whenever I bring up the vibe of a song. I could be insane. But personally, I really enjoyed the song. So yeah, 8.8 out of 10. However, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment your thoughts on this album down below. Let me know how you feel. You could also like and subscribe if you want to, or don't. I will be okay either way. And in the description, I'm going to put a playlist that has all of my 17 reviews, so you can check that out. And Admittedly, it's a bit old. It came out like a year and a half ago now. I will put my history of 17, where up until, I think it was up until the release of their full, like their latest full, like Face the Sun, where I just run through their entire history. And it was really fun. I might do an updated version one day, God only knows. But until then, you can check that out too. And yeah, thank you again for watching. Bye!